It's that time of the year again. No matter how much we hate on a Call of Duty game over the year, September and October always roll around and we end up getting excited for the next game, even if it's just a little bit. Over the last month, Activision have really ramped up their marketing, and we finally got an insight into what Modern Warfare 3 is really about. And whilst usually this is the time where they show off all the new content, this time it's all about the past. This time they're playing off our emotions and playing off our nostalgia, with 16 classic Modern Warfare 2 maps, all the ones from the base game returning. And as we see more and more gameplay, they continue to hint that this game will be fast-paced and action-packed like we expect from a Call of Duty game, and that we've been lacking for the last couple Modern Warfare installments. Somehow, despite all the criticism I've given Call of Duty over the last year, and going into this next game, I'm somehow that little bit excited that I mentioned at the start of the video. I've once again fallen into Activision's trap. They want me to be excited for this game because of the nostalgia they're bringing in. They want me to be excited for this game because they've finally brought back features that we've always wanted. Because at the end of the day, as a community, all we've wanted for the past decade is a classic selection of maps and fun, fast-paced gameplay. And to be honest with you, that's what we're going to get with Modern Warfare 3. It's going to happen. I can't see it being any different here. Just a few months ago, I said to myself that I wouldn't buy the next Call of Duty game because of the things that had gone on behind the scenes, with Activision turning what was meant to be a 2-year game into another yearly release and charging £70 for it again. But I'm disappointed to say that now I am strongly considering purchasing Modern Warfare 3 when it comes out. Maybe not on the day of release, but certainly maybe a week after. But why am I feeling this way? And why might many of you be feeling the same way as me? I mean, I can't be the only person in the community that felt strongly against Call of Duty over the last few months and over the last year. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to make this many videos on the franchise. I wanted to make one review of the multiplayer and one review of the campaign and be done with it. But over the last year, I have felt that at times it's been correct to call out Activision and Infinity Ward, where in my opinion they've gone wrong with Modern Warfare 2. Because even if my video isn't directly seen by Activision or Infinity Ward, I was hoping to be part of a wider community that's trying to make change happen in this franchise. Because at the end of the day, all of us who make videos on this franchise, we do have a love and respect for it and we want to see it do well. But it's that same love for the franchise that's got me in this position once again. So in this video, that's exactly what I'll be discussing. Can we as a community really justify spending £60 to £70 on a game that's basically reused content? So prepare to take off your rose-tinted glasses and grab some popcorn, as we look into the issues surrounding Modern Warfare 3 and its release next month. The hardest thing for me to justify about Modern Warfare 3 is that Activision have repackaged content from, 10-15 years ago that was meant to be an expansion to Modern Warfare 2 as a yearly release, and that is a real issue. In the past we've complained about games only having 10 new multiplayer maps. This year we're getting 0. I mean, that is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. There is going to be a campaign made by Infinity Ward which will continue the story from Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, and I am excited where they go with that. But how much value does that really add to a game? I mean, at their longest, the campaigns will be, 10 hours long. And for the most part, it's going to be something you play once and, you're not really going to return to, so the replay value there is very low. The other mode is obviously zombies, but it's not going to be the zombies that, us older players remember, the round-based version, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, the classics there. It's not going to be that. It's instead going to be like an Outbreak equivalent from Cold War, which was good, but can they really invest me for a whole year of just Outbreak? I don't think they can. So these two modes, which is where we're getting the new content, can't really justify a price tag by themselves. And neither can the multiplayer. And that's where the £60 price tag just doesn't make any sense to me. This game to me should be £30 to £40, which then it would be a fair thing for Activision to do, but they've got to meet the yearly quotas, they've got to meet that yearly expectation from the shareholders. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think anyone would really complain if Activision, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, all the studios involved in this game just came out and said, listen, we're going to be remastering Modern Warfare 2 this year, so we can work on other projects, so we can bring back the games that you expect, and instead, we'll be charging £30 because this is content we've already had, and we'll give you, a campaign on the side to continue that story, which to me was the original plan. If you hear the behind the scenes stuff, all the stuff that was coming out before Modern Warfare 2 release, that was going to be the plan, but obviously something changed behind the scenes. Activision saw something in this game that they saw enough for it to be a yearly release. They saw enough from the community that said to them, the community's still going to buy the game. And love it or hate it, they're right. People like me, who thought that I'd never buy this game, I'm now in a position where, I'll be honest, I'm considering it. I said before that the people that make videos on this game, like myself, want this franchise to do well, but I think this is the one game where I actually want it to do poorly. I want this game to do poorly to show Activision know that this community is not going to take their shit anymore. They're not going to just take a product that's reused content. And I know that me buying the game is me contributing to Activision's inevitable, I can see them doing this again, I'm going to be honest. If this game does well, they're going to see this and they'll be like, well, we have reused content from Black Ops 2, from Black Ops 1, all these classic games. And when they can't be bothered to make another game, they're just going to do this again. This is also completely ignoring the current issues we have in Call of Duty. Bugs, glitches and crashes are still present in every title. Skill-based matchmaking will still be there, even if we have asked for it to be toned down. The yearly content cycle, we keep getting less and less maps, and if the release content's anything to go by, then we can guess that the rest of the maps in the game that will be DLC will also be remakes. And probably the most disappointing fact of them all, one we're probably scared to admit, is that these maps and weapons that from previous games will just not be the same as they once were. We're not going to have them same experiences on High Rise, Rust and Favela that we're used to. And I think by having a selection of 16 remastered maps, they're really going to run the heavy risk of ruining some of their reputations here. I mean, just look at Favela. Can you really see Favela from Modern Warfare 2 fitting with the current playstyles and skill-based matchmaking that's present in Call of Duty? Because I can't. And I can personally see a map like Favela being very frustrating to play. So then, for all the reasons I've just given for us to not want to buy Modern Warfare 3, why are me and many others considering purchasing it after seeing Microsoft's marketing campaign? Well, it comes down to a few things, but the main one, and one we can't look past, is the nostalgia. And yes, as I said before, this is exactly what Activision want us to have. They want us to have this nostalgia that's going to force us to buy the game. But then again, it's that same nostalgia which is going to bring us some happiness. And at the end of the day, as humans, we just want a bit of happiness when we're playing video games. 3 years ago, when Activision released Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, we were all so disappointed to know that the remastered multiplayer that we all really wanted was probably not going to come. But as the leaks and rumours towards this year's game started to come out, we realised that that same remastered multiplayer has turned into Modern Warfare 3. For someone like me, who looks back on the early days of Call of Duty as some of the best times I've ever had gaming, I can see that even if Activision and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer and all these companies can't do it 100% right and deliver that same exact feeling we got, 10 years, 15 years ago, but playing this exact selection of 16 maps is going to bring back just incredible waves of nostalgia, and it's something that I just don't want to miss out on. I'm going to be honest, there's a massive level of fear of missing out, or FOMO, with this year's game. Because I could quite easily sit there and not play this game. I could install X-Defiant and I'm sure that game will keep me occupied for the next year. But I'll also be seeing countless YouTube videos of people enjoying Modern Warfare 3 to some extent. And yes, again, I'll admit it, that's going to make me want to buy the game even more. Another thing that's kind of swaying my decision in the favour of buying Modern Warfare 3 is the content side of things. I'm by no means a full-time YouTuber, I just make videos for fun. But at the end of the day, my Modern Warfare 2 videos last year were quite successful. It was my first review after all, it was the game that got me discussing games like I am now. And however this game turns out, if it's good, I can praise it on this channel and I can finally recommend a Call of Duty game to people, but I can't see myself doing that. Or if the game is disappointing, like I'm kind of expecting it to be in many aspects, then I can easily make rant videos on it. And over the year, I'm sure there's lots of things that are going to go down with Modern Warfare 3, which again, I can make videos on. But listen, I'll be the first person to tell you that Modern Warfare 3 is absolutely everything wrong with modern gaming. It's going to have an overpriced item shop, it's going to have skill-based matchmaking, and we already know it's going to be repackaged content. It's important to be aware that all the things that they're adding in this year's title are things that we've been asking for years. They're things that could have been patched into last year's game. They're things that easily could have been implemented into last year's game from the start. But whether Infinity Ward somehow didn't hear our concerns last year, or they were choosing to delay it to this year to make this year's title more successful, at the end of the day, this year's title is going to have many of the things that we didn't have last year, and to some extent, I can appreciate that. So to answer the big question in all of this, should you really buy Modern Warfare 3? Well, despite everything I've just said in this video, detailing the reasons that I might be buying the game, I would advise against buying it. I'm still somewhat on the fence. I'm leaning a bit more towards buying it now after seeing the marketing, but the reasons I listed before, and bringing them up even in this video, has led me to be a bit more neutral about things. If nostalgia and playing off people's emotions is your main selling point going into a game's release, it's probably not the best sign, so if you're in a similar position to me, I would act cautiously before you think about buying the game. If you have absolutely no nostalgia or feelings towards these old Modern Warfare 2 maps, it's probably best if you skip this one out. You'll be saving yourself a lot of money and time. With a free-to-play game like X-Defiant around the corner that's releasing before Modern Warfare 3, it will hopefully take some of the spotlight away from the controversy surrounding MW3 and create an FPS game that will keep people occupied either until the next Call of Duty releases or even longer past that. I think it was important to make a video discussing this, as many people, including myself, have fallen into the trap that Activision want us to fall into with their marketing campaign. But it's important to stay cautious, as it could be a very turbulent year ahead.